Alright guys, you know what that means? We got a hot panel. This is a pin light right here, and really handy for doing electrical work. You just push that button down, calibrates it, put on a hot circuit. It will let you know real fast if you got power going to it, if it's energized. This is a 100 amp sub panel coming from my house that feeds the shop. And real quick before we get started, when I was in college back in 1998, for about 2.5 years, I worked for an electrical company while I was in college. That's one of the best jobs I ever had as far as getting my feet wet into one of the building trades. And I really enjoyed that job. I liked to run a conduit and the whole just, every aspect of it. It was industrial electrical work, so we worked in a large chemical plant. But I really enjoyed it. I learned a lot during those years of working with those guys. Now, a little disclaimer here, I'm not a licensed electrician, but I did learn a lot working for those guys for 2.5 years. Enough to where I feel comfortable doing electrical work by myself most of the time. Now when we first moved into this place, he was using 2 circuits out of this whole entire panel. This is a 100 amp panel, and all this is new. I installed all this stuff here. He had 2 circuits going to the lights for this building and the adjacent building that has the sawmill in it, and that was it. It had all these spares in here. Since then, I've added this top breaker right here, which goes to a 220 outlet for the sharpener. This is a 100 amp breaker, which feeds the kiln. That's another sub panel coming out of here and goes underground. Then a few 20 amp breakers here on the bottom that goes to some extra outlets that we installed. There's nothing worse than taking off a panel cover and just seeing a mess in here, and I've seen it many a times while doing electrical work. And you just get some tire wraps and bend your wires the right way, just make it look good. It doesn't take that much time or work to really get in here and make it look nice. And this box here was wired properly when I opened it up for the first time. The mains at the bottom were neat, they came in. The only thing this panel did not have was a grounding rod, and I've since added one to the outside of the building, and it's getting fed in here on this green wire on the side, which feeds the ground wire bus at the top. But other than that, it was pretty squared away. But today what we're going to be doing is coming down and putting in another 220 amp breaker right here below the kiln breaker, which is 100 amp, and coming out the top and going over on the wall that we built yesterday and installing an outlet to run the planer. So the first thing I want to do is come up here and start my conduit. I'm running some PVC 1-inch conduit today. And get one of these knockouts out of here and go ahead and install that, and we'll be ready to pull some wire and run to the other side. This shouldn't take too long. This is not a huge job here, putting in one outlet and a breaker. We got that knocked out. I'm going to be using something different today I've never used before. I saw this at Lowe's yesterday and was getting supplies. This is a flexible PVC conduit. And the reason I'm doing this is I can put it in right here and offset it without having to bend conduit. That way the pipe that I connect to the flexible part will be flush here against the wall. So usually you run them straight up out of your box. You have to offset it just a little in order to be flush against the wall that's right behind it. And some people don't do that, and they just strap it to the wall and it's kind of at an angle and it looks like crap. So I like to make it look nice if I can. And this stuff right here may make that a lot easier and keep me from having to bend anything. Of course, I'm running PVC today, so there's not no bending going to happen anyway, so you can't bend that stuff. So let's see how this goes. I like that. You just kind of flex it wherever you want it. So far, so good on that. need some straps, and I can't find them anywhere. And I don't think I got the right size in here in my drawer. I didn't buy any yesterday because I thought I had some. I need 1-inch straps, 1.25 inches. 1.25 inches, 2-inch. It never fails. You think you got everything you need, and you're going right back to the store again. I was going to have to go to the store anyways because I need a double pole breaker to run that planer. I need it to be 30 amps. And I have one on hand, but guess what it's rated for? 50 amps. A good square D breaker, double pole, way too high. That planer pulls about 23 amps on max load capacity, so you don't really want to go real high above that. 30 is what they recommend, and I think that's a good number. 50 is way too high. So let's go back to the store again and hopefully get everything we need, and hopefully by the end of the day get this planer running. I got some walnut to run through it. Never fails. You get everything you need and you get back to the shop, and there's always one more thing. I had a list this time. Had it all wrote down on my phone. Still didn't work out for me. Never fails.
Here we are, here in the valley, by the riverside. We have our peace, we have our freedom, if only for a time. And we will go on little paths when come the winter time. We know it well, the pain of the leaving, but this will raise the bar.